In this video, I'm going to give you the only method that has worked for me to wake up early, plus a bonus tip that will supplement onto that main method that I am going to explain to you. When I finished school, I remember the first time I actually tried to wake up early with the intention of doing so, and it sucked. I woke up, I was tired, I was hungry, I was sleepy, and I'd heard online about all of these guys talking about how waking up early is so great for your productivity and it's amazing. Then why could I not even focus on staying awake? How was I supposed to even do any work at all? And of course, I couldn't stick to it. Within about 3 days, as is usual for failing any habit for me, within 3 days, I was back to waking up at 11 a.m. or whatever. Slowly, I was establishing myself as the guy in the house, in the friend group, the one who's always trying to establish new habits, but gives up after a few days. I was becoming that guy, the one that no one takes seriously because everything I say, I won't be able to stick to it. Around 6 months ago, only about 6 months ago, after literally fighting my sleep routine every day to try and wake up at the right time, which I did a lot of the time, but I was still in a constant battle with myself. Only around 6 months ago did I come across this episode of the Huberman Podcast. Dr. Huberman is this neurologist who often talks about sleep. And this is what I've learned from a 30 to 40 minute segment, which I'll simplify for you so you don't have to watch the entire thing. Basically, it goes like this. The earlier you wake up and go straight to looking at the sun, obviously after you've prayed Fajr as a Muslim, you go straight to looking at the sun, the more you have convinced your circadian rhythm that this is the time that I want to wake up. I want you to think of your circadian rhythm as if it had a memory span of 3 days. So pretty much whatever time you have woken up in the past 3 days and looked at the sun for about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, even 5 minutes, that is the time that your brain will think you need to wake up. That is the time that you've convinced your brain to wake up based on the past 3 days. So saying I've been sleeping at this certain time my entire life and waking up at this certain time my entire life isn't an excuse anymore, because your brain only focuses on the past 3 days. But now a common problem would be, I can't actually sleep on time to wake up at that time. Say I want to wake up at 6 a.m., but I don't even fall asleep by 10 or 9. Well, then it goes beyond that as well. Now, as the sun completes its course across the sky and is about to set, I want you to look at the sun again. Not me. Dr. Huberman wants you to look at the sun again. For another 5 minutes, just watch the sun setting. And this is where you see the real magic happen. The completion of the entire cycle of your day. Provided you have woken up in the morning and looked at the sun, this will now act as a reverse and get you sleepy, which is so insane. The same sun in the morning that was waking you up, that was firing up your cortisol, is now the same sun that is making you sleepy, just because it's going in the opposite direction. Has something to do with the color rays or something. I honestly don't know. I'm just the guy who's listening to it and giving you that information in a way that's easy to understand. Now, you probably realize that this isn't new stuff and it isn't the fanciest advice, but I want you to think about this. What time did your great-great-grandfather wake up? Did he ever wake up at 11 a.m. and say he was struggling to do so? Did he ever even struggle with sleep routine at all? You can almost guarantee that your great-great-grandfather woke up after Fajr and didn't go back to sleep, and yet he had 5 times the testosterone you did and got 100 times more work done. I'm not attacking you, but just think of that. He was the same bloodline as you. He had the same genetics as you, so you have that potential. You could be waking up early, but you need to understand that your grandfather probably caught a lot more sunlight than you did. The benefits of sunlight aren't limited to just the circadian rhythm. Obviously, there's a lot more benefits as well, which I'll talk about in a different video. But for now, I want you to understand that this is the tactic that helped me wake up finally at the right time. And since then, when I even go to sleep 1 or 2 hours late, say I go to sleep at 11 and I'm supposed to go to sleep at 9:30, I'll probably still end up waking at the same time that I normally do. All because in the past 3 days, I've watched the sun after I've woken up. And so my body is trained on that. Now, the bonus tip is actually split into 2 bits. You can download this app called Sleep Cycle. It's for sleep tracking. And just honestly download it and let it do its magic. I've been preaching about this app for a long time since I've started this channel. Pretty much what it will do is it'll tell you what time you went to bed, what time you were actually asleep while in bed, when you woke up, and it'll wake you up nicely with like this 30-minute alarm window rather than an alarm just blaring at you. But you also need to surround yourself by other people who have that same mindset and goal as you. And if you can't think of anyone like that in your circle, then you can just talk to me or my brothers at any time by joining my free community on Discord, or you can just message me on Instagram. I thank you for your attention in this video, and remember to take control over your mind before it's too late.